Hold on. Before we do that, I at least have some fantastic news to give people before you get into depressing them with this Raw report. This is courtesy of the Hollywood Reporter. Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista are working together on a buddy cop film. Said Momoa, Bautista texted me going, "We need to do a buddy cop film in Hawaii." And I said, "I have an idea." So we're off to the races now. Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista, buddy cop comedy in Hawaii. Think that sounds better than Raw. What do you think, Brian?
It is time for our friendly neighborhood Raw report. I thought this show was better than usual. Wasn't perfect, because they can't help themselves sometimes. And there was also unintentional comedy. What more could I ask for in a wrestling show from WWE? Lashley comes out and does a promo, and he is interrupted by Damian Priest. Damian Priest challenges him to a wrestling match. They wrestle for 1 minute, and Sheamus runs in for the DQ. However, fear not, they go immediately to a tag team match, which is Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre against Bobby Lashley and Sheamus. They have a good match. They have a good wrestling match. And Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre win after Drew McIntyre claymores Sheamus. Fans enjoyed it. Solid professional wrestling. I thought this was a good beginning to this program. Then we had Doudrop. A few weeks ago, Doudrop talked about how much she hated the name Doudrop, and she was angry at Eva Marie for calling her Doudrop. Well, now she's broken up with Eva Marie, and you know how they explain why she's still Doudrop? Well, she goes, "I like that name." So she's still Doudrop. Eva Marie attacks her. Eva Marie and Doudrop are wrestling on Raw next Monday.
Wait a second.
You know what this means, by the way? You know what this means? We're going to have like 6 straight weeks of the same horrible match over and over again.
Did she say she liked the name, or did she say
Yes.
that's who I am now?
She says, "I liked the name and I'm keeping it." Did you watch the show?
I did watch that. I remember there was like one of those cases went flying into her, and Eva Marie started slamming her head. And yeah, I thought the same thing you did. My God, we are going to have weeks on end of this.
Karrion Kross, who is now dressed like a member of Demolition, sort of.
And the Sultan. Remember the Sultan when they dressed up Rikishi and they made him that for a minute with the face mask? Like, that's kind of what it looks like. He's Demolition Sultan.
He beat Ricochet in 1 minute, everybody.
1 minute.
And I would be remiss if I did not mention our front page Raw report, which wrote, and I quote, "Kross has silly new gear that makes him look like an idiot."
Ooh.
Well, is it fair?
Well,
then we had
in their eyes, they need to make him marketable, Brian.
How long are we going to drag out this Raw report that you hate?
Look, the fact that you have to do it, I need to add some levity to it or whatnot, whatever word would fit in
There's
there.
plenty of levity just listening to what they do. They brought out Logan Paul, and I guess they thought they were in a Thunderdome again or something. They just had their yay boo button. They thought this guy was going to be cheered, and so they did like a bunch of angles where they programmed him with baby faces to make sure that you knew he was supposed to be a baby face. But the fans don't care what they want. They're like, "I hate this guy." And so Logan Paul comes out. He's booed out of the building. They bring out Miz to try to get Logan Paul cheered. This results in The Miz getting cheered. Logan Paul leaves, and then Miz turns on Morrison, and I have to listen to these numbskulls for 2 more hours telling me that Miz and Morrison were an all-time great tag team. No, they weren't. They will be wrestling each other next Monday here on this program. Dude, Miz was not very good before he hurt his knee. Now he's like 10 times worse, which is it's inconceivable to me, but he is. I do not have high hopes for this match, and I expect that Miz is going to beat Morrison, and Morrison's going to find himself on main event, which is a travesty. Xavier Woods beat The Miz in an 11-minute match, which was not a good 11 minutes. And then that's when we had the big turn, breaking up one of the greatest tag teams of all time. We had Nikki Ash asking Rita to be her partner. Reginald was stealing ice cream and avoiding the 24/7 geeks. Riddle promised he was going to do some celebration for Randy Orton. Mansoor and Mustafa Ali had a talk about whatever. Mustafa Ali is still a heel, even though they're friends, and there's like no reason for this guy to be a heel, but he is. Mansoor faces Jinder with Veer and Shankly. They go 2 minutes, and then there's a DQ. I swear to God, Jinder's just beating on him in the corner, and the ref goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ring the bell, you're disqualified. Can you imagine in 2021? And then Ollie goes, we should do it my way next time. I'm like, why? Your dude won. This would be a DQ, but, he didn't do anything wrong. He just got stomped on, unmercifully, for more than 5 seconds. And we had Charlotte
really
doing a
good
promo.
strategy going forward, though, is it?
Well, what are they going to do? Cheat? I don't know what's going on. Who cares? Charlotte does a promo, and then they play her music, and then she starts to keep talking again. I don't know how that miscue occurred. But then Alexa comes out with her doll, and she
I
says...
think they planned it to be that way, Brian, because she kind of pointed up there as the fireworks went off, and I think that was her celebration of winning the title. I think that was literally a way to make the interview a little bit longer. I swear to God.
Whoop-de-doodle. All I know is Alexa comes out with the doll, and she says, Lily and I are just here. We just wanted to say hi. And then, because it's WWE, we have to have, as bad as it is, it has to be more bad. So, whoever's the director is like, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6. We're doing the camera back and forth between the two women, and they have to stand there and stare at each other awkwardly for 90 seconds before they cut away. Oh, it was a horror. But it's just now beginning. It'll get worse. Don't worry. So Elias literally does a video where he says, Elias is dead. Long live Elias. So he's no longer Elias. Now he's Elias. And he's no longer doing the entertainment part, which was the only part that got Elias over. Now he's just going to focus on being a wrestler.
Wait a second. Please tell me that this is all a swerve and we're going to get the 68 Elvis comeback special, except for the red lights lighting up with Elvis. It'll say Elias. Please tell me. That's
Bro, I don't know, but he put a white hat on, so I think that now not only is he just Elias, the pro wrestler, but he's a babyface Elias pro wrestler.
Oh my, he's Michael Landon on Little House on the Prairie. Is that what he was doing there? And he was going to walk through nature to
That would be far superior to the current Elias character.
Oh my God.
Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley beat Nia and Shayna. Another good match. I was watching this, and Rhea Ripley was super over, and the fans are going nuts, and they love her comeback, and she gets the win, and they all cheer, and I'm like, and the doll is feuding with Charlotte for the women's title? Whatever, who cares? RK Bro did their celebration. This is at 2.5 hours into the show. We have no earthly idea what the main event of the show is. They do their celebration, and Randy's gifted a scooter. And I'm like, dude, there's 20 minutes left. Are they going to ride the scooter around the ring for 20 minutes? But then AJ and Omos come out, and we have the announcement that the main event is a last-minute addition to the show. Because in storyline, the people putting the show together are totally incompetent. They had 30 minutes left and no main event. Luckily, AJ comes out for a main event that they agreed to on the spot. It's AJ versus Riddle. You can't have a bad AJ Riddle match. So the match is good. They go 13 minutes, and Randy Orton hits Omos with the scooter. Bro, if you want to see unintentional comedy even more than Logan Paul, watch Omos attempting to sell. Horrible. God bless the guy, but horrible. If I were Randy Orton, I would have been hitting him as hard as I can to shoot and make him sell, because his work selling is terrible. But anyway, then there's a distraction finish, of course, and Riddle hits the bro Derek, pins AJ Styles. Everybody cheers. They're all happy. So that was nice. So, I mean, it was not a great show, but I mean, grading on the curve, that was a far superior edition of Raw than usual. If you enjoy these videos, for just $7.99 per month, you can enjoy full-length editions of The Brian and Vinny Show, Wrestling Observer Live, Figure 4 Daily with Tom Lawler and Lance Storm, plus hundreds of archived shows, all in beautiful HD. Don't miss out. Join us today.